there, boys and girls, in 10 seconds.
Okay.
In 10, 9,
Go into 3, Alex speaks
7,
first. James, you haven't got the dog yet.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Go 3
0.
and cue.
Hello and welcome to the One Show with Matt Baker.
And Alex Schultz.
My name's Georgie and I'm a studio researcher at The One Show. The researcher and the assistant producer share the responsibility to make sure that the producer, the presenters and the reporter, if we have the reporter in, have all the stats to hand so that they're asking the pertinent questions when we're live on air.
So you played Steve Owens and you for 4 years on the set.
We get in at 9 and the first thing we do is go through the papers, just make sure that we are fully up to date with what's going on today, that whether it feeds into a current affairs film we're doing or a topical feature we're doing. The next thing is the meeting with the editor or deputy editor, and that's when the team of 3 of us, the producer, assistant producer and myself, the researcher, sit down and go through the script, go through what the plan is, what films we're showing, what questions we're asking, and there might be kind of tweaks, there might be changes. So I'll be responsible for looking up new ideas if those were thrown up in the meeting.
Come back, do his chat, then the artist, or you go into the artist film
On
now.
show night, the assistant producer and myself will brief any guests or contributors that we've got coming in. Sometimes, like today, we have an OB, which is an outside broadcast, and we're throwing live to Elstree, the East End set. So I'll be going out there to brief Zoe Ball, who will present it from there.
That's the thing. Zoe Ball is there right now. Let's find out.
I am here in Beale's restaurant. Look, I've got
The One Show's a big production. There's films, there's live television studio, which you see here, which is our studio that we use every day. There's 4 films a day. Those films are made by independent production companies and by internal BBC divisions. So the Natural History Unit will make films for us. The Current Affairs Department in Manchester have got a separate One Show section that make films for us and deliver them. There's a consumer unit in Wales that makes films and deliver them to us. On a daily basis, there's the 11 o'clock meeting with the production team, the 2:30 script read-through with the presenters, 5:30 rehearsal, 7 o'clock live. So there's quite a lot of meetings, but you're discussing creative things, and then you nip back to your computer and you keep abreast of what's going on in the world, and you make script changes on the system that we can all access, and we view films in the gallery.
I will have to tell them, of course.
So that's one of the films in tonight's show, and it's just been edited now. So we just sort of see it now, and any changes that need to be made then get sent to Comic Relief. They clear it, and then we get it delivered to our gallery later, which will happen. Good. All right. Thanks. Also in our office we have a separate film team with about 15 staff on it that make films, and one film is made every day. We've got the ability within our office to say there's been flooding across the country today. We'll send teams out and we'll be able to make flood films that then appear on that evening's programme. So they're based in our office along with our separate teams that put the programme together in a separate area. So there's the 5 producing teams that worry about the content of the day and knit everything together. That's researchers and assistant producers and producers. And then there's the directors that make short films for us that we edit in-house.
My name is Michael Armitt and I'm the editor in charge of commissioning here on The One Show. Basically we need about 650 films a year to fill the programmes, and those are on a range of subjects from everything from science to history to music to arts to wildlife to current affairs. And those are made for us by teams up and down the country, both in-house and independent teams. And each film ends up as a post-it on my wall of post-its here. We basically commission films in different categories. So we commission very fast turnaround topical films, which are usually made the day before transmission. We then commission current affairs type films, which are commissioned usually weekly, and again have to be highly topical. And then there's the rest of the films, which tend to be the slow burners that can be filmed many months in advance. They tend to have a longer shelf life as films. There's a whole range of different films, and we commission them like that to provide, I suppose, a great variety on the show. It's really important that the viewers tune in. They never quite know what they're going to see, and we hope to kind of educate, entertain all the Reithian values through the films that we produce.
This is our schedule basically, and as you can see at the top, it's got our day producer for the show. Then we've got our guest here, and here is who is shooting what basically.
My name is Sharmini Ofori and I'm the film team production coordinator. The film team is quite pivotal to the One Show. They create all our topical VTs. They're mainly built up of 5 directors and about 5 to 6 researchers. They'll find a story, researcher will find facts, figures, statistics. They'll call the contributors, find out about them, find out their backgrounds, what they like to do, what their hobbies are, all these questions that then make up the final, aspect of the film. Once they have this all together, they'll pitch it to our producer Hardeep, who will then, if he thinks it's good enough, pitch it to our editor Sandy or Gareth, who's our editor of live. And if they like it, they'll give it the green light, and then that's when we start putting the wheels in motion.
But although I can see what Sherlock's doing,
My name's Matt Baker. I'm a presenter of The One Show. I also present Country File as well as The Gift at the moment, and a bit of sport. So I do quite a lot of different stuff, which works well, for The One Show because it's so varied. Hold on to your hats, it's time for the most anticipated soap ever.
We get in on Monday lunchtime-ish and then start talking through what's going to be happening that evening. We've often got the briefs on the Friday so that we can get prepared over the weekend and what have you for the guest that's going to be coming in and all of the different topics that we're going to be covering on the Monday night show. And then we have a good read-through. First thing, really, the producers have been working on the show for a few days. So yeah, the read-through is really the most important thing, and especially with it being a live show, you can be very topical. So if things have been happening that day, you can say, oh, well, let's talk here in this section. So just getting it fitting right, really.
Do you want to flip the lines?
And then come about this time, which is now, it's got 5:45, 5:45, we'll come down into the studio and then we'll get a sense of how that's feeling here in this space and have a good look at all the different clips and all the stills and the photos that we've got on offer to be talking to and round throughout the show. And really just getting ready to be prepared for what your guest might come up with, because we don't rehearse with them at all. The guest will come in maybe 30 seconds before the show starts. The music kicks off and then bang, that's it. It's a very live feel to it. So you've got to be prepared for anything, really.
So you played Steve Owens, didn't you?
The joy of it is that it is live. There's a good reason we keep it like that, so it's fresh, it can be topical, it can be reactive of things that are happening. We can ask our audience for their input whilst the show's going out as well, which I think is very important, because at the end of the day, this is a show for your viewers.
So please do send us your photos, particularly as you address them.
You've got to know what you enjoy telling stories about, or have a topic that you really do focus on that you can effectively become an expert on, and come at it from that angle. Don't think about it from a camera perspective, just think about it from a content point of view. So a good way of getting involved with it is to go and make a radio documentary and then listen to it back and think, am I getting good content out of this, or is this just drivel? A lot of time, television, it's all about the content. It's not really about how it looks. It's about, is this good information, and are we getting the most out of this very short space of time? And if the answer to that is yes, then you're on the right lines.
No danger.
My name's Stafford Gillott. I'm camera supervisor today. As a cameraman, you've got quite a lot that you're thinking of. The main one, obviously, you're thinking of the viewer and what they'd like to see. You're also thinking about your framing, what's coming up, so that you can easily move from one position to another. For normal days, 3:30 for a 4 o'clock meeting. We then run through the director, sound soup, camera soup, floor managers and the camera ops, a whole schedule for the day. We then make decisions on how we'd like to put that across to the viewer. We'll always give options and show options, say, okay, this is what you'd like, but how about doing this? This will work better for us. And we try and work as a team, because it's all about teamwork and getting it out there to the viewer the best we can.
Then we are doing a photo call out tonight, so we want to see pictures of people's EastEnders parties.
My name's Stephen Neal. I'm the series live director for The One Show here in West One. I'm responsible for taking the show that the producer and the editorial team have created on paper and making that appear on screen for the audience. So I have to make sure that the presenters know what's going on when we're live, make sure that the crew know what's going to happen when we're live. As a director, you're always trying to think, what would I want to see at home? And you're trying to achieve that. Run out. You rock up on the day, You look at the running order on the computer, you talk to the producer, you talk to the editor, you talk to the presenters, you have a rough idea of what the show should look like. Then we have a script meeting, we go through effectively the whole show, presenters will read the script. Quite often the show will change quite a lot during that meeting. I'll come out of that meeting, quickly gather my thoughts, and then go in to have a crew meeting with crew in the studio.
Through to camera 3, 2-shot, Matt and Alex.
During the live show, I'll be looking at all my cameras. I've got cameras along the bottom row in the monitor stack. I'll be constantly checking those to see that they're offering the shots I want. I'll be working very closely with the vision mixer, who's sat to my left. They will be cutting the cameras that the audience sees at home and cutting to the VTs and cutting to graphics. My voice is my main tool, really. I have to kind of not sound like I don't know what's going on, even if I don't know what's going on. My job is just to keep things relatively calm.
Rehearsal in 5 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Run
0.
I think if you talk to any director, you'll find pretty much a unique route to getting to be a live director. None of us come in the same way. You need to get experience, you need to trail. These days you need more than one string to your bow, and I think you find a way in. Whether you're a camera operator or a floor manager or a script supervisor or a vision mixer, if you want to make the leap to directing, you'll find a way, because people recognise that you've got that skill in you. You just have to make sure that you meet the people who recognise you.
Just like everybody else, I went home last night after doing the live and watched it back, and at the end of it...
I'm Tom Fenner, I'm the guest booker on The One Show. Essentially my job is very simple. I have to provide a recognisable face on the couch opposite our presenters every night. I work closely with the day producers and the editors of the programme, so we discuss what's up and coming and what would be good. If it can dovetail with the content of the show, so much the better as well. Sometimes, if we get a really big guest in, we'll then try and accrue all the content to reflect the guest coming in. There's a presumption that if you have a big contact book, then you're laughing. It certainly really does help. But it's how you get on with these people. It's mainly about relationships. You need to demonstrate that we're worthwhile coming on. We're the largest guest-based show on British television. I think also being as flexible as humanly possible. When we had Hillary Clinton on this year, we went down to check the studio out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was knee-deep in water. And we'd managed to find a new studio. We'd commandeered Old Broadcasting House. So all it required from me was to speak to the British Secret Service, the American Secret Service, her publicist, the book publicist, and explain what was going on, talk them through it again, and then everyone was satisfied. But that worked really well in the end. But it demonstrates you have a lot of people you need to speak to when you come up short really quickly, and you just need to be calm, be really straightforward with them, and normally they get it and know what the best result is.
It's Martin Kemp.